Hi, welcome, or that's on my line. Ahoy, welcome to A Hero Story. Clearly, we're off to a great start. This is a podcast where we talk about comics. It is Sean and I this week, as JD is on tour in New York and Harper went on vacation in Australia, I believe.
Oh, really? Really?
So Sean joined the call about 30 seconds ago. And are you wearing a metal shirt?
I'm wearing a Red Death shirt. That's right.
I just realized that.
And I've put on weight so it doesn't fit me as well.
Why do you have that? Here, this is how we're going to start.
I find the logo cool. I think Red Death was the coolest of those 6.
Yeah.
And we didn't get him for 4 years in everything. Oh my, is that a mouse pad?
It's a mouse pad. I have a mouse pad.
Oh my God.
Metal.
That's edgier than the World of Warcraft mouse pads that my family has, because they got like the collector's editions.
Oh yeah. I guess DC was sending out to comic stores like promotional material, and one of them was a mouse pad.
Was it free or you gotta buy it?
Yeah, well, when Metal ended, my shop owner was like, "Do you want this?" I'm like, "I guess."
I'll take a metal
okay.
mouse pad. And if it was death metal, you would have been like, "Hell yeah!"
Yeah, I would have did for sure. What comics did you read this week, man? I hear some good comics came out.
Dark Knights of Steel. That's all I've gotten to because I have both school and 2 jobs. Ironically, one of those jobs I have to read comics for, so I have to read everything tonight and tomorrow. But like, my God, am I busy?
Right, you're busy. So here, let me play the voice messages you sent me today.
Let me finish my fucking burrito.
And
burrito.
So yeah, you're a busy guy.
you were rushing me. Like
I was.
You know what? You asked, you're like, you know what? I gotta make dinner. And because I know your situation, I was like, let me give him time.
What's my situation?
Because like I know you gotta put on the snowshoes, you gotta pick out your favorite SEAL club, you gotta kiss the girlfriend goodbye. Because you don't know if you're going to return. You might get ripped to shreds by wolves. Yeah. And then you can't just pick any seal. It's got to be one that's nice and plump, one that'll make a hearty dinner. So
yeah. Because
you gotta grab it. You know, you gotta do.
That's what we do up here in North, eh?
Do the whole thing, and then you gotta drag it back, and then fillet it, skin it, whatever you do, and then
it takes a while, is what Sean said.
Make a nice seal stew. I knew that it was going to take you a while, so I was giving you that time. And so I, like a normal person, when I'm going to get some takeout and get a burrito real quick.
Not everyone lives on the set of Amazing Spider-Man 2, okay?
And I was just there like, I had a quarter of my burrito left, and you're just there. All right, I'm ready. And I'm like, I just sent you the photo.
Honestly,
a burrito.
I did rush you. When you say it like that, yeah, I totally rushed you there.
I had no problem. Like Harper gave me shit when I wasn't on that one week, where he's like, all he does is ask when we're recording. It's like, yeah, because I'm very logistical. That's all I need to know. So when you're like, I'm gonna cook, I might be a little late. I'm like, all right, just give me a time. Like I just need something to work off of. And then I'm like, all right, 9:30, cool.
Yeah, well, what time is it now though for you?
10.
Yes. It was past the point. It was like 7 minutes past the point.
But
when
still,
I was like,
traffic and idiot jaywalkers, people who just walk into the street.
JD walkers.
I can't just hit them, so I unfortunately have to embrace my human side and let them cross.
Well, you made it. I'm happy to hear that you made it. You're well fed, and now you're here to talk about your favorite thing.
And I'm in for the night.
Yeah, you're starting off with your very favorite thing. Madame Web was casted. It
was weird, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
It just came out of nowhere.
It's weird. Well, they announced this movie like 2 years ago or something like that.
I saw I was on Instagram. I was in class because I have a 3-hour lecture before this. And I was just in class and I was just scrolling through my phone. And on Instagram, I just saw the panel from or like the image from 50 Shades of Grey, where he's like holding her arms above the wall or whatever. And I was just there like, why the heck is 50 Shades of Grey like getting promoted? And then I just saw underneath it Madame Web, and I was like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah. It's the main actress from I don't know her name. I didn't write down her name. Oh, my volume's on. I was trying to find her name. So if you're listening to this and you don't know her name either, we have something in common.
I think
And you
it
can
starts
Google
with
it.
an E.
I don't think it does.
I think it starts with an E.
I think it starts with a J. Here, I can
All
probably
right,
find
let
it
me
real
let me
quick.
let me put this into the. Oh my God, you just have to type in 50 and 50 Shades of Grey shows up. Okay. Dakota Johnson, so
Yeah.
not E.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know
Not
where you got that
E.
from. So yeah, cast as Madame Web for the Madame Web solo movie in the Sony Cinematic Universe.
I kind of
Sony
forgot that movie was happening.
Sony officially called it today the Sony's Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I thought it was the Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters.
That's what the report I read.
I thought it was Spunk. Spunk.
Well, maybe they changed it for a reason.
It does sound weird.
Yeah, it does sound a little weird. But yeah, will this movie happen? Now that we have a casting.
Oh no, we need JD.
More.
We need him for the
predictions. Yeah, he did say Joker was never gonna happen.
And Joker happened.
Yeah.
And we're getting a sequel.
The thing is with this is Sony's kind of like they've announced a lot of movies. They have a Spider-Man character. It's likely a movie happening with them. But they also tend to be wrong at times, and they also tend to say things that don't seem to be true. Remember last summer, or even the springtime, like a year ago, we were talking reports on A Hero Story that Silk TV series was going to start filming in August. It was set to start filming. Up until like June, we were talking how it's going to be filming in August, and it never filmed. It never had a single casting, not a director, nothing. So they say things, but that doesn't mean it's truly executed. Why?
Yeah, where's my Black Cat Silver Sable movie?
No one. Okay, even I know you're a Black Cat fan, but would you want that?
Black Cat and Silver Sable, no, but I wouldn't mind like a Black Cat heist film. But it's basically gonna be like any Catwoman film, because I love how I love JD's reaction when you guys were talking DC fandom, and it's like they're making a Catwoman movie. Let me guess, she's going to steal a diamond. It's like, yeah, that's the plot.
That's essentially the plot.
And they released a clip of that recently. I think they released that in the last week. I think there's a clip out.
That's the animated movie.
Yeah, right. The one that like looks anime style though.
Yeah, they got the big green eyes.
You ever watch those anime style movies from Marvel? There's like the Black Widow Punisher one.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you ever watch those?
Yeah, well, I never watched them, but I know what you're talking about.
I watched the Black Widow Punisher one. I don't think the Iron Man Captain America and the Iron Man Hulk ones I don't think count as anime. But I watched the Black Widow Punisher one, and I just remember it being like so anime in the last act, like with the villain and Punisher just goes like ape shit on the guy. It's just, it's, oh my God. I gotta watch that again. They took it off Netflix. I watched it while I was on Netflix.
Yeah, that's fair. Are you an anime guy?
So I've watched the 7 Deadly Sins first season and the stupid 4-episode filler of season 2. Because my sister's big into anime, although she does not want that to be public knowledge, because she's like, she likes that secret.
She's a closeted anime.
Yeah. Okay. And so she was like, come on, just watch something. And so I'm like, all right, let me watch 7 Deadly Sins. And I love the character Meliodas and Bond so much. So it's just, they're like, all right, I can get behind this. But then like, I think the show's over now, and I haven't had the chance to get back to it.
Yeah, so fair. I just realized you just went, my sister does not want this to be public knowledge, as you say on a podcast.
I don't care. It's like we're the school we're at, like everyone is an anime nerd, so like there's really nothing to be ashamed of, but she still wants it, like, but so I've watched that. There are things so many things I start, like even comic series that I start, and then I get so distracted by other things I don't get back to them. So like I started One Punch Man.
Oh, great. I love it.
That looks really cool. The idea. I like the idea of, he's just bored. He's like,
because he can beat
I'm the
anybody
best.
in one punch. Yeah.
Like he's like, and like, especially like that first episode where he's like having the dream of like, oh my God, a challenge. And he wakes up and he's like, oh fuck. But I was watching that. this is like the borderline one that I watched entirely. I watched all of Castlevania.
Okay.
But anime's not my strong suit. Like there's definitely more I can watch. It's just never something that's piqued my interest. Like I checked out some stuff that people showed me when I was over at their house, like on Netflix. Like I remember there was Yusuke, the Black Samurai. Like that was the title. It was Yusuke, the Black Samurai. The pitch and selling point of the show is that he's a black samurai.
Sold.
Yeah, I was just like, all right, I'll watch this. It was a brutal first episode. I remember that. It was like violent.
I think we're in the same boat where like in junior high and high school, I was obsessed with anime. I watched a ton. And still to this day, like I still believe that Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is one of the best things ever in fiction.
My sister talks that one up.
It's one of the best fictional things ever. It's so good. To the point where JD, not an anime guy, does not like anime. But one day, I believe he was like sick or something. So he was off school. This was like 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. And he's just like, man, what do I do? Spider-Man PS4 isn't out yet. And I'm just like, here, I know you don't watch anime, but just try Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And he watched the entire thing in 3 days. And he was like, that was insane. So it's very good. And it's something for everyone. But I watched all of Fairy Tail in high school for some reason. And this is a comic book podcast.
This is a comic book podcast. We're not starting another spin-off show that dies after like a few weeks.
That's our thoughts on Madame Web.
A hero story, a Star Wars story coming soon after the Book of Boba Fett.
It is. We actually will be releasing.
We're definitely talking.
Yeah, we will.
Or should I just say Star Wars the show?
Yeah, this will just be on YouTube, but sometime or I guess over a week from now.
2 weeks. I think 2 weeks.
Because next week's the last episode, so like over a week from now.
It's only 7 episodes? I thought it was 8.
I thought it was 7.
Oh, hold up. Who's right? Who's wrong? I typed in Book of Boba.
Like I said 30 seconds ago, this is a comic book podcast.
Who cares? Who cares? We're nerds. We're nerds.
I'm pretty sure it's 7.
That'd be weird if it's 7. Especially after the episode 6 reveal at the end. That'd be weird. Yeah, oh my god, it's only 7.
Yeah, I told you.
Why?
Set up the finale.
There's got to be a second season. They're not going to give me that tease at the end.
So I wrote down is delayed until 2023. I'm pretty sure I meant Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. I wrote,
oh my god, I was like, what the heck did you just say?
SS.
I think Spunk was better.
Yeah, it was. So yeah, the video game Suicide Squad kills Justice League is delayed to 2023. This is because Warner Brother Games is working on 4 different games at the moment, and they're planning on releasing Hogwarts Legacy and Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga finally this year, along with Gotham Knights. I believe that's made by a different studio though, but Gotham Knights is still directed to come out.
Why is Warner Brothers making Lego Star Wars?
I don't know.
All right.
Do they own Lego maybe?
I mean, I don't know now.
They're the studios Warner Brothers Games is making Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga.
So where's our Marvel DC crossover already? You are the one property that has the ability to make it happen. Make it happen. And they've even like joked about it and teased it. Like at the end of Lego Batman 3, like you see like a portal open and all the silhouettes are made to look like the Avengers. But then instead it's like DC characters and just funny poses. Like instead of Hawkeye, it's Green Arrow. Instead of Spider-Man hanging upside down from the web, it's Nightwing for some reason. Like they did that at the end of the game and the end credits.
That's disappointing.
Just make it happen. You could do it.
They could, yeah. Are you disappointed by Suicide Squad kills Justice League being delayed?
I mean, I'm just kind of like, I started Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, here's the TV. I was playing. I beat the first boss or whatever, the monster lady's pet, and I haven't gotten back to it.
How do you like it?
Oh, I love it. I think it's a great game. And honestly, like the Star-Lord in the game is nothing like Chris Pratt's, and it's like a totally different character, and I love it. Nothing against Chris Pratt, but it's just like I really like this iteration of the Guardians. I like the game. It's its own story. It didn't try to just copy the movie. Like I like that.
Some of the characters seem movie inspired. Drax, he's
Well,
still the
yeah,
destroyer.
Yeah.
Like he's still strong. And there's a point, no spoiler, but they reference that he killed Thanos.
Yeah.
Some
I think I've seen that. Yeah.
So
yeah, because that's in the Monster Lady's lair. She goes, killer of Thanos, as she's like flirting with Drax.
Yeah. So I mean, he's still the destroyer, but he's also a bit of an idiot too, like the MCU Drax.
Yeah,
Comic Drax is not an idiot. So,
but like I also like that. I've never played a game like Mass Effect or anything, or like the Telltale series. So I never had a game where like your decisions influence the story. So like there's a bit of that in Guardians that I like.
There is, yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, this is cool.
You choose to sell Groot or Rocket?
I chose to sell Groot.
Same. Damn, I was wondering what happens if you choose Rocket.
Yeah, no, I chose to sell Groot. But I did take the fall for the girl, so I got the key pass.
I did the same choices as you. Damn.
Okay. So, but yeah, no, like, yeah, and then however, I hid the illegal weaponry. I gave up the llama. Did you hide the llama, or did you hide
the llama?
I hid the weaponry.
Did they take the llama?
Yeah, but the llama still winds up on the ship later, which I was like, how?
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's our thoughts on Suicide Squad.
That's our thoughts on Suicide. I mean, this is that game where I'm like, is it's supposedly set in the Arkhamverse, or it's not set in the Arkhamverse?
Apparently.
How?
It doesn't feel like it.
Well, Batman did the Nightfall Protocol. Like, you know, how are we seeing the Batmobile, and why is it like a retro Batmobile? Like,
I feel like they didn't mean to say that it was in the Arkhamverse.
It doesn't make sense if it's in the Arkhamverse, like in the scope of the Arkham games. Like, there's like, you hear like the goons talking in the background as you're gliding through the city. They reference Superman. They're like, better than that freaking Metropolis. But it's like, you know, now we're gonna have a whole game where apparently the Justice League has existed this whole time, and not one of them was like, hey, you think one of us should call Bruce? Like, the entirety of Gotham is covered in fear toxin to the point where you can see it from space. You think one of us should maybe go? You think
Batman at that point? Batman would maybe. I know he's like in the comics and stuff. He's like, I don't need your help. This is my city. Get out.
Yeah.
There's also comics where he says, "This is my city. I need your help." There are points where he does call Superman, or he does Flash a lot to help out. So you think he called
like he ever does it like a Arrow, where it's like, we're never gonna reach them in time. I have an idea, and he just has Barry run him and Diggle to like the edge of town.
Keep in mind, this was announced that it was in the Arkham verse. Kind of not what you expect. It was DC Fandom Year 1. This was last year, and Will Arnett was answering questions on this. He was asking questions on this for some reason, and he's just like,
voice of Lego Batman, right?
Yeah. He's just like, this person on Twitter asked, is this in the Arkhamverse? And the devs like looked at each other, just like, yeah, we like to think it is. And that was it. So then people were questioning, like, okay, well, Deadshot is a completely different person here.
Yeah,
so it can't be. And then they
like tweeted, Harley, you can kind of be like, all right, different animation styles, like kind of like Injustice and Injustice 2, like the character designs were so different between those two games. Like in the first game. In the first game, Damian's like this chain smoking, like 40-year-old man. I'm Damian Wayne. And then in the sequel, he's back to being like a kid.
He's back to Robin, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, what the hell happened?
But then, like, even then, they went on and they continued to say that it's in the Arkhamverse when people were like, okay, well, Deadshot's a different person. Like, oh yeah, he's like the Deadshot 2. He's Deadshot 2. That's it.
Ratcatcher 2, Deadshot 2.
Yeah, they're just like,
so it's a Harley Quinn 2. It's gonna be Dick Grayson. It's gonna be Dick Grayson as Batman. He'll have taken over the mantle. It'll be that. There we go.
I could see that happening, honestly.
Yeah,
because if it's just Batman, then it's like, okay, you lie.
It's like, well, that's the other thing. Because I think it was like a PlayStation exclusive. I never got the chance to play Arkham VR or whatever. They had like a VR game.
Yeah, I have,
But and
PlayStation
apparently
VR,
in
but I
that
know-
you're solving Nightwing's murder.
no, you're
Yeah, Nightwing's dead in that game, and you're like solving his murder.
you're solving Bruce's murder.
No, you're solving Nightwing's.
So
If
what
I'm
the-
correct, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, for some reason DC just likes to kill Dick Grayson.
Like, well, at least for Gotham Knights, they're just like, yeah, this is his own universe. Like,
Well, Gotham Knights, I'm excited for because Red Hood.
but also,
By the way,
player Bat Family, Court
I'm
of
so-
Owls.
I'm
Like,
so sick of people like you
like
for
me.
for the John Kent. I would really like him to be de-aged again. Like, don't get me wrong, your idea for a story is actually quite ingenious, and
Thank
I do
you.
like the trade-off that would be explored in it. But like I would see on like Twitter and stuff, like comments on posts and everything, and just be like, Super Sons is never gonna be Super Sons because John's aged up and everything. It's like, give it a rest. Like, look, you need your characters to have some bad stories, to have some bad decisions. I'm telling you, it'll humble you. I mean, worst case scenario, they get over 100 issues of just terrible team ups. They're leading a team of zombies.
I was gonna say, you sound like a Red Hood fan.
They're leading a team of zombies. They've given up one of their signature weapons. It could be much worse.
You sound exactly like a Red Hood fan.
I'm just saying, it's a little humbling. Like, I'm just saying, John could be off fighting some weird ancient magic race. Just say,
Yeah.
but we got him as Superman in a very well-written story. So trade-offs, it could always be worse.
I like where John is right now.
Also, I do think I think it's Matthew Rosenberg. I do think he's writing Task Force Z well. It's just one of those things where it's like, all right, I have to embrace the concept here. He's leading zombies. Got it.
Essentially, I like John Kent where he is now. My whole idea was just like, if the story came where he was able to go back to being a kid again, I would love that. And I think most people would love that. Yeah, there's a lot of people who like John Kent with where he is now. And I made a post about it, and I got some comments saying that they're okay where he is now. And that's awesome. That's okay.
Yeah,
in
I'm
the
fine
end,
with it.
This was just an idea I had, and I guarantee it won't happen.
Okay.
Like, they are not going to de-age John, especially because, like,
I don't know.
he's
Maybe
more
Tom
of an
Taylor's
icon.
there going,
Yeah, not bad.
it's because there are posts with can we please get Dick and Wally back? And then Tom Taylor's just there.
Mhm. Well, the whole thing with John though is like, he's become more of an icon than, if anything.
Yeah.
He's not just the son of Superman. He's become his own character in a way. So
Well, because he's the Superman of this generation.
yeah, and him being
Yeah.
bisexual is major. So I doubt they'd ever step down from that. So
Yeah.
just, it'd be cool if we still get that John, but in like 10 years. Like, I just want a story. Have you ever read New 52 Superman? I guess
I've skimmed a bit. But I have read the death because I've read a bit of the Lex Luthor Superman stuff, where he has the powered suit and everything.
Okay,
So,
yeah. So
yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. Is like the death of Superman is like, it's so good, and I want to see that with John.
Mhm.
But it's sacrificing his childhood, if anything. So
Gotcha. Yeah.
yeah.
Where what doesn't that Clark fade away into green dust? Isn't that what happens?
He just dies. He doesn't.
I thought
fade
he
away.
like disintegrates though.
No, he straight up dies.
Oh, okay.
He turns green. Yeah, his skin turns green, and
Because I remember the green, I was like, I'm pretty sure he poof.
yeah, he beats the whoever
Got
he
it.
was fighting. No, he falls to the ground, and he has like his last breath.
It's been
And
a while.
he's with Batman, Wonder Woman, Lois, and Lana, and he just talks to them, and it's
Yeah.
very very well written.
Mhm.
He looks at Wonder Woman, says, "What a lucky man I was," and Bruce kneels down and says, "It was an honor," and it's just
My favorite New 52 Superman was Superman Unchained by Scott Snyder, and with the art by Jim Lee,
Mhm.
which some people give that series a bad rap, and I really like it, especially if you read the director's cut. version of it
I've
because
never read the director's cut.
well, because that's the thing, like, I want to be a writer, so I would look at scripts when they're available in the director's cut. And like, you can, if you just read that director's cut, you see what Snyder's aiming for throughout the whole series. And it is such a cool concept. It's like Superman, if instead of serving the world, he only served the United States government, because that's what Wraith is in that story.
Mhm.
It's supposed to be, the what's the word? What did I learn in English that Mercutio was for Romeo? Foil. That's it.
Yeah,
It's supposed to be the foil to Superman. And like, I do find like you see that arc and like throughout the whole series, and like, what Superman's doing, whether it matters or not. Like, it's I do think that's a very good limited series to dive into. Plus, it's Jim Lee art. It's drawn beautiful.
Oh yeah. I wish he did more comics today. He doesn't really do anything anymore.
Yeah, what was the last thing he did?
Suicide Squad Rebirth. Literally, that was it. Oh, besides like anthology series,
He'll do covers.
And he does like stories and like anniversary issues.
Yeah, but I know like he still does the covers. He still does promotional art. That's a big thing. He's doing like posters for all the movies. He's doing some cryptic Crisis on Infinite Earths DCEU remake. So he's doing a lot, because remember, we got that Batman poster by him,
Which was awesome. Yeah.
and we got all those what was it, Zack Snyder Justice League storyboards for the future films.
That's cool how he did the storyboards, but then it never came to be. Oh well, we don't get to see.
Never will.
We don't get to see evil Superman come and Lois Lane get blown up in the Bat Cave, like,
And have a kid with Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, Lois and I forgot Lois and Bruce are gonna have a child. What the heck, Snyder? What are you doing?
I mean, to be fair, Dark Knights of Steel kind of did something similar.
That's a little bit different because it's like,
I know it's an Elseworld story.
Yeah, but so is the DCEU.
That's
but in this
I was gonna
case,
say that's how I justify the DCEU.
but
It's
in
an
this
Elseworld
case,
story.
like Dark Knights of Steel is like it's a different time.
Yeah,
Like it's fantasy. So anyways, we have a bit more news to get through.
We cheating on your spouse is okay as long as it's in fantasy.
We got a new team. A new run on Savage Avengers is coming.
Savage Avengers.
It's called All New, All Different Savage Avengers, and the team is, I forgot to write down, but I believe it's Cloak, Dagger, Conan, Weapon H, Agent Anti-Venom, Elektra as Daredevil.
Not Agent Anti-Venom, just Anti-Venom.
Just Anti-Venom, sorry. And Elektra Daredevil and Elektra as Daredevil and Black Knight.
I think that's everyone.
Team, but cool team. I like it.
I'm gonna read it. Savage Avengers is always that book that I look at on the shelf, and I'm like, that exists. I don't know why that exists, and I'm sure it's a good book, but like,
it's essentially like a more brutal Avengers.
Yeah, and that's where I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued most by Elektra's Daredevil, because if you look at the promo art, like her sai looks sharp, because the whole thing in Daredevil is that they're blunt because she doesn't want to kill anyone. And so I'm wondering if we're gonna see in Devil's Reign or her solo series or whatnot, if she's gonna break the code and kill and just embrace it.
Maybe
that's what I'm wondering.
And
that's what I'm wondering.
Matt's like, get the hell out of my city. So
and leaves. Wesley. Fuck Wesley.
I can see Wesley down. So then she leaves and then joins the Savage Avengers, where you have a Hulk Wolverine. So it's like these guys are brutal. These guys are kill. Black Knight is literally a character who his power is depression.
Nice.
There's no easy way of saying that. Like the way
you sure you want to do that?
The way his sword works is you need to be sad to hold it, or angry, or like you need to have negative emotions. If you're really happy, it works like Mjolnir. It's gonna be heavy.
That's kind of miserable.
I know, he's a very sad character, and So he has actually in the Ebony Blade story that came out in 2020. He finds out he has a daughter, and his daughter decides, like, his daughter's like 20, and she's just like, you can't just hold the sword all the time, Dad. Like,
yeah, don't they share it?
Yeah, so they share it, and then they take turns. So then,
because that was explored in Death of Doctor Strange, X-Men, and Black Knight.
Oh, but I didn't realize Black Knight appeared in that. Did his daughter appear too?
It was a tie-in. I just skimmed it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't. It was like one of those things. I saw the preview for it, so I knew it happened.
Okay.
I can unfortunately not read. I can't read everything, unfortunately, because
why not?
I would die.
Yeah, that's fair.
I couldn't believe how many things released both this week and last week.
Well, it's
I
every
literally
week.
walked into my comic shop like with 20 issues in my hand, just there, like, holy shit! All this is. I gotta put some stuff back. Teen Titans Academy.
That's what you put back.
Yeah, but we all know I'm gonna go back and buy the issues, so because of the Earth for War 3 or the War for Earth 3, whatever.
Oh, that's yeah, it's fair.
That's happening. Ironically, the 3 books I read, Teen Titans Academy, Flash, and Crime Syndicate, are all crossing over.
I forgot Crime Syndicate's still happening.
No, it was limited. It's over.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I dropped it.
That's the Crime Syndicate that's
I used to
gonna
love
be in, like, the New 52 Crime Syndicate is the best version.
It's so good. I was about to say that. It's like, hey, look, here's
like,
the evil Justice League.
I don't even have to read it to know it. Like, they have the best look. Like, I feel like
Ivan Reis draws it, and then Jason
I feel
Fabok.
like the best adaptations came from it, because I'm pretty sure that Earth 3 Crime Syndicate is what inspired the film, what's it called, the Justice League one, Crisis on Two Earths.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well,
So,
yeah, I guess it's a similar design there. I mean, it's not too different from their original design, but Ivan Reis redid it, and there was a story arc for Justice League New 52 called Trinity War, and right at the end, a portal opens and the Crime Syndicate come in. You see Aquaman first, and then he just gets like shot in the back.
Yeah, and you get that remake of the Justice League New 52 cover, but with the Crime Syndicate, so it's like a mirror reflection.
Exactly.
Like,
they kill Aquaman right away just to show like we need business.
Yeah,
and their story arc's so good. Like, Trinity War happens next, Crime Syndicate takes over, they're ruling the world, and then villains take them out. And they all spread out from there. Like, I think Sinestro kills Power Ring, who's a Green Lantern. And Flash dies. I can't remember how Flash died. Like Earth 3 Flash. He died. Johnny Quick died somehow. And
Johnny Quick dies in like every book.
Yeah. And then Ultraman.
He's the only one who got killed off at the Limited.
Yeah, it's essentially. Ultraman and Superwoman go to jail, and Owlman escapes. And then Darkseid War, Ultraman and Superwoman get out of jail because the Justice League need their help. And then Owlman comes in and helps out too. But then they all die. All of them die. It is really
Owlman was like one of the few good moments of death metal. Come to think of it, because Owlman has that moment where like he blows up whatever Earth they're on to take out a bunch of the Dark Knights.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Because he's like insulted that he wasn't invited to like join them. And he goes, I'm the evil Batman. And now I have proof that I'm going to exist in every version of the multiverse. So guess what? Every Dark Knight on this world, it's like only owls are welcome and no bats are welcome on this planet. And he just blows up the world with himself. One of the few cool moments of that event.
Well, as cool as it is, I found it was a little out of character because he never considers himself an evil Batman. He always just considered himself a better Batman. That was his whole thing.
Yeah, but I could see it as like, just being the foil. Like, if anyone's gonna be, it's gonna be me.
Because he's really smart in New 52, and he's the one who basically saves the world. He stops the Darkseid War, but in doing so, he dies as well.
Yeah,
because he was with Lois, who was Superwoman, and Darkseid kills Superwoman, which made him kind of freak out. And then Mobius, sorry, kills.
Hello, I'm Dr. Michael
Ultraman.
Mobius.
Yeah, and then Owlman gets killed by Dr. Manhattan. So at the very end, the last page. That's our thoughts on Savage Avengers.
That's Savage.
Last bit of news is we got details on Judgment Day, which is Marvel's 2022 event, which I'm sure Sean did a lot of research on.
No, I didn't have to write that article, but I did read
nice.
up on it.
Nice.
I
So it's
only
gonna
work the
be
weekends.
written
I
by
only work the
Kieran
weekends.
Gillen, and the artist will be Valero Shiditsi, I think. Maybe pronouncing that wrong, but you know me. I believe it's the same writer as writing Eternals and one of the X books, I believe. Maybe it's just
goody.
Yeah, no, not writing Avengers. So, but it's going to be about essentially the Eternals decide to reveal themselves again because they haven't been out in a while, and because even in the Eternals book, only Icarus and Sprite are going out. So the whole Eternals come out because they realize, hey, we're here to protect the world from deviants, and we're also here to protect the world from mutants now, because mutants are bad apparently. So they're just like, hey, mutants, you guys kind of suck, so we're gonna get rid of you. And the X-Men are just like, we're not just gonna let you do that. Get out, get off our turf, kind of thing. And while the Eternals are out there arguing with mutants, they're like, wait, why the hell are the Avengers living in a dead Celestial? So it's kind of like a big, it's Civil War 7 essentially. It's a new Civil War. Eternals versus Marvel's officially describing this as X-Men versus Avengers versus Eternals, but it actually seems to be X-Men and Avengers versus Eternals. Mostly Eternals versus X-Men, but Avengers are kind of the Peter Parker of the story. They're caught up in the middle of it all. So honestly, as someone who doesn't like Eternals, it sounds good. It sounds.
I was gonna say, I don't give a shit about the Eternals,
which is good, because if you did, then this would be like, what? They're just making the Eternals bad guys. People don't like the original Civil War.
Don't care.
Well, people are upset about the original Civil War because it made Iron Man a bad guy. People are upset with Civil War 2 because it made Captain Marvel a bad guy. So in this case, people are mad
because she is a prick in that.
Exactly, just like Tony is in Civil War 1. But in this case, with the Eternals, like the Eternals are the bad guys, but everyone's like, yeah, okay. No one's angry at that because no one cared about them in the first place. So this is at least doing something with them, and we don't like them anyway. So it's like,
don't like them anyways. We can hate them.
Yeah, it's like it's okay to dislike them now because no one's on the Eternal side here. No one's going to be like, yeah, mutants deserve to die, and yeah, Avengers, get out of here. No, we're all going to be with the X-Men. We're going to be with Cyclops and Captain America and Iron Man. Like, we're going to be on their side. So
essentially what I'm hearing is we need an event with a bunch of Marvel teams that we don't give a shit about to fight each other. So Eternals versus Savage Avengers.
Okay.
What other Marvel teams are there that's like you would Alpha Flight versus Alpha
Bro,
Flight.
I like Alpha Flight.
Yeah, of course you do, you Canadian.
Yeah, I like Alpha Flight. I want them to come back.
Well,
they're at the X-Men Gala. Yeah, they're at the X-Men.
No, they had the Gamma Flight or whatever.
That's a little different. That's mostly, it's not Alpha Flight though.
Whatever. Gamma, Alpha, whatever.
They're
all Greek letters, aren't they?
I guess so. We are at 37 minutes, and that's the news of the week.
Oh, that was everything?
Panic. Okay, comics.
There was nothing else.
There's nothing else. I mean, you texted me some ideas, but
let me see if any of them were worth it.
No, none of them were worth it, Sean.
Well, we have me frustrated by the chairs in my lecture. I want to smash these chairs with a crowbar.
Yeah.
They deserve a fate worse than Jason Todd.
Yeah, a little odd.
I was so done today. I needed to wash my work shirts before work today and put them in the dryer. I used 4 dryers because no one's up, so I can get away with it. I had 2 for towels, 1 for socks, and then 1 for staff shirts. The only thing I needed dry was my staff shirts. At the end of the hour, I find out that the dryer that had the staff shirts is the one that didn't work. So the only things I needed weren't dry. They were still soaked.
Way to go.
Oh, wait. The Boys, just for Harper, the Boys voice cast, one of the members is going to be Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
For Diabolical.
As War Machine.
As War Machine.
But Iron Man.
Yeah. And then I feel like we should bring this up just to be like, all right, it's happening. Titans season 4.
All right, it's happening.
It's happening. We knew that from fandom, but I wrote up that article. But also they just cast Brother Blood, and they got
Wow.
yeah, and then there were like
go.
there were two other people, but like Brother Blood's gonna be played by the guy who I believe was on Vampire Diaries, which I only know because my mom loved that show and the originals.
All right.
And he might have been on the originals too. But yeah, it's Joseph Morgan, and then there's also Mother Mayhem and Jinx.
Okay.
So Titan season 4, I don't think Jason Todd's in it anymore, so we'll see if I tune in. I probably will because I've gone this far.
Fair enough. Breaking news, as I want to see if there's any other more news. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 deleted scenes for Spider-Man No Way Home have not been released, but the timestamps have appeared on a website, I guess, Marvel, the No Way Home website, along with the titles for each one. So I haven't read this yet. There is a 2-minute and 25-second deleted scene called Interrogation Scene Extended.
Daredevil.
Maybe.
Daredevil.
There's a 5-minute, 25-second deleted scene called Peter's Day at Midtown High.
It's just gonna be him dealing with the fact that everyone's like staring at him in class.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like in Wade's Daredevil, where like, you know, instead it's gonna be Peter trying to learn, but it's gonna be a distraction every class because everyone's gonna be staring at him. Kind of like how in Wade's Daredevil, you had Matt in the courtroom and they had to start teaching people to defend themselves because since everyone knew he was Daredevil, it like that was the prosecution's like goal every time was just to discredit, be like, this man's being represented by Daredevil, and it's like, all right, guess I can't be a lawyer.
Peter's wearing a shirt saying I am not Daredevil.
Well, he just did. 87.
Yeah.
He just had it on.
There is a 1-minute, 35-second deleted scene called Undercover Montage. And there is, oh my God, there is a 1-minute and 35-second deleted scene called Happy's Very Good Lawyer. What?
Daredevil. Foggy. It'll be Foggy.
Yo.
It'll be a full circle because he was Foggy.
Because he was Foggy Nelson, yeah. Because Matt said he needed a good lawyer, so he must go. What is this scene? And there is
you know what? That'd be so awesome if it was Foggy, because then that would even further canonize Daredevil.
Yeah, I mean it's canon for sure, but
Karen shows up as well, just because.
The last one is a 4-minute, 25-second deleted scene. That's a long one called The Spidey's Hangout.
Oh, so it's just gonna be
Tom and Andrew.
It's gonna be them referencing every little thing ever.
Oh, I want this.
Yo, I heard like in another dimension there's a Spider-Man that's a pig. You guys ever meet him?
Yo, I hear there's another dimension where there's a guy named Miles Morales. What?
There's got to be like a black Spider-Man out there.
Wink, 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 wink,
wink, wink, wink.
But yeah, that's the news of the week. So comics, the best DC comic came out this week. Dark Knights of Steel #4. They have a guest artist, but still pretty good. We got to learn about this universe. This is a fantasy take on the DC universe, and it's so good. It's so good. Except for the villain reveal, that was a little odd. But besides it's so good, so good. So we'll just,
because I was gonna say this issue, I was like,
It's like the
villain reveal undercut it for me.
It's story time, you know. What happened?
It's always gonna be like, you know, anytime you have to elaborate and give the backstory, that issue's always gonna be like, all right, get back into the plot.
Because we'll get back next week.
When you have like 4 episodes of flashbacks before we actually get into your story. And then the next 2 episodes, you're not even in the fucking things.
So before this, all we knew was Troy and Lara they landed on Earth after Krypton blew up with Clark as a baby, and immediately their powers went off because of the yellow sun. Jor-El ended up killing some guards running at him, and then 20 years later, they're king and queen of the kingdom. So it's like, okay, what the hell happened? So this is what happened. They arrive. Jor-El does kill those people because he doesn't mean to. His heat vision just goes off, and then they run for it. They end up living in a cabin and just listening to the kingdom because they're hearing.
It's very Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm. They basically just listen, and they're just like, all right, I guess we're okay.
If you've read Frankenstein, that's how the book is.
Oh, with Victor Frankenstein.
No. Frankenstein the monster, because in the book he goes off for a bit, and the way he learns like English and stuff is by basically just like listening to townsfolk.
Yeah,
like while he's outside in the darkness,
because they only knew Kryptonian, so they just listen. That's how they learn. Yeah. You're right. That is a good. It is.
It's very Frankenstein.
Yeah. So
look at me throwing in the classic literature today, because I totally read Frankenstein for those assignments.
There you go. About a year passes, and they learn English, and they find out that there's been trembling happening. So they go over and they find a mountain or a volcano that's going to erupt in like a few days. So Jor-El goes to the kingdom sneakily. He sneaks in and he sees a man and says, "Give this letter to the king and queen. It's saying that you guys are all doomed to get out of here while you still can, because this mountain's going to blow up." He gave it to a young Lex Luthor, who burns it immediately.
Has the worst haircut ever.
Yeah, he's got like a bowl cut, red hair, and he burns the letter because he's like, "Nah, screw you." And so the day comes.
That was the best part of the issue for me, was when it's like, "Luthor, why are we hearing of this now?" He's like, "Well, I read the stars and blah blah blah." And Jor-El like is just there like, "You fucking idiot! You looked at fucking balls of gas for the goddamn. How dumb are you?" like basically just shitting on like whatever theology or whatever.
Yeah,
you know,
he
they
was, because like, I'm a scientist.
He's like, "You dumb motherfuckers."
Because they're all angry, because then we also learned that the king and queen are Thomas and Martha Wayne. So the volcano goes up.
No, we knew that. We knew they were the monarchs
before.
Yeah. We knew that.
Oh, that's right. Did we?
Yes, we just knew that they died, and that's the elves eventually took over, because we knew that Bruce hated magic users, yada yada yada.
Right.
Which now we know why. It's because of
Luthor.
Luthor who laughs.
We'll get to. Volcano goes off, and Laura decides, Jor-El, we could stop this. We have the power. So trusting the Waynes to look after young Clark or young Kal-El, Jor and Lara go and they save the kingdom from the volcano. Time passes and they realize that, hey, these Kryptonians are good. They're heroes. Let them into the kingdom. Let them be by our side. So it's kind of cool. Jor-El and Lara-El become really good friends with Thomas and Martha Wayne. Ooh, I'm getting my names mixed up.
As Bruce says, a little more than friends.
A little bit.
A little bit more than friends.
Almost instantly, just seeing by the age difference between Kal-El and Bruce, Jor-El and Martha have an affair.
Because bad habits lead to late nights.
Yep. And Martha becomes pregnant with Bruce. They immediately both go and they tell their wives and husband. Thomas Wayne seems a little angry.
Oh no, he's pissed.
But when Bruce is born, he still treats Bruce like a son. They also say that Thomas wasn't able to have children, so he was happy to have a son to raise, even though it wasn't his own, and he knew it wasn't his own. He saw Bruce like his own, essentially.
Well, it's very. It's kind of like how you were saying before. Like, it's fantasy. I feel like that could only happen in fantasy.
Yeah, essentially.
But yeah, no, it's they all get along, and then we get the Luthor who laughs.
Yeah, essentially. One day, real quick before we get to that, I love seeing how Bruce, basically Batman, Superman, Supergirl, they grew up together. They're best friends as kids. They're climbing trees. They're running around playing games. I love that. Like that.
Great. Just let me know. I just want to know why Supergirl is not afraid of the bloodshed.
Yeah.
She's my favorite part of this series.
Really? She's pretty
interesting. We've established I love crazy, like, murderous characters.
You do, yeah, you do. So, and this Supergirl isn't Kara, because it's Superman's sister.
It's Zala.
Yeah,
it's Zala.
It's a new character.
Watch her get introduced into main continuity by Taylor in Son of Kal-El. Watch him find a way to make it in continuity Zala
as a villain, maybe. Or an
Yeah.
anti-hero.
Or anti-hero. Give me the
Yeah,
Jason Todd
no.
of the
Superman
Superman family. We
Well,
had Godspeed of Flash.
yeah.
You know, give me
You like Godspeed, right?
yeah, Godspeed's cool.
Okay.
Any anti-hero, I'm gonna be like, yeah, here we go.
The Waynes and the Elves were on a walk in carriages, and then boom, a big green blast hits one of the carriage,
That's not a
instantly killing.
walk, it's a carriage ride.
Yeah, whatever. Instantly killing Thomas Wayne. Bruce having no harm done, just a little bruise, but it goes away instantly because he's half Kryptonian, and Martha having just a few words left to say. They look up to see who did it.
Martha.
Sorry, Martha. And it is none other than Lex Luthor with a Green Lantern ring, and he's also the Joker for some reason.
Why is he the Joker?
For some reason, he's also the Joker. He has green hair, and he's got the red lips, and he's laughing. He goes, "Oops, wrong carriage," and starts laughing.
It would have been. Yeah. He's just there like Green Lantern ring.
Oh,
I was trying these rings on because, like I said, I put on weight, and I guess I put on weight in my fingers, and so these don't fit anymore. I bought each of these for like 30-40 a pop, and they don't fit anymore.
Dang.
And I didn't even get to wear them much because since it was COVID, I didn't want to like have the germs stay on the rings or anything.
Pain.
My favorite one was the Red Lantern one.
Oh, they're actually metal too.
They're metal, yeah, they're nice.
Huh.
Oh, for JD's amusement.
Ooh, you have a Flash one too. I have a Green Lantern run in my closet over there.
If I were to put any on now, they'd cut the circulation off my finger and rip the skin off because it was a lot of lotion to get those off when I tried them on.
So Joe
So Luthor who laughs.
Yeah, the Luthor who laughs, who's also a Green Lantern.
It's so weird.
So his official name is the Green Man, and he's a villain. He's also seems to be the one who killed Jor-El in issue 1. I guess because they call him the Green Lantern, unless there's more out there. But yeah, he's pretty angry and he was trying to kill them because he was kicked.
Because he was wrong about the balls of gas in the sky.
Yeah, he was kicked out of the kingdom for not warning the family on the volcano when he was told to. And so, okay,
why
cool,
is he?
I guess.
Why is he the Joker?
Why is he? Yeah, we don't know why he's
the only way I could justify it, because I was thinking about it. I literally read this while I was in my lecture because we had like a break, and I was like, let me just skim this because Hunter's going to want to talk about it, and I've literally had no time for anything. The only thing I could think about is like they kind of show like him getting splashed or irradiated with something, and so the only like bullshit reasoning I could come up with is that like the chemicals that made the Joker were like in whatever rock the Green Lantern ring was in. Sure, maybe. Okay. I gotta be honest, I'm so sick of like Jokerized shit.
Yeah,
like even Justice League Incarnate, like Williamson and I think Dennis Culver also co-writes that, but like they introduce a Batwoman who laughs while also breaking the fourth wall and admitting that everyone's sick and tired of the Batman who laughs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they're I forget who it is. I think it's like the Dark Side minions. I don't think it was Aquawoman, but like somebody says they're like, we just got rid of one of you after like 3-4 years. And now we got you.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of annoying.
It's like as soon as I saw Luthor was Jokerized, I was like, you know, it's already Luthor. Like giving Lex Luthor a Green Lantern ring is enough.
That's actually pretty cool too.
That's cool enough. That's all you have to do. I mean, to be honest, giving Luthor the powers of a superhero isn't anything new. We've had Apex Lex with, you know, Martian Manhunter's powers. We've had
Super
him
Lex.
in this. We've had the Super Lex. Yeah, it's nothing new, but Green Lantern. Okay, cool. But now Joker. All right.
Yeah, I mean it happens. And that's kind of where the issue ends. And we go back to the present, and Alfred told the story to Bruce because Bruce was just a child when this happened. And he goes, okay. Anyways, let's continue on our quest. And they leave. Bada boom, bada bing. I still really liked it. I love the story. I love the area.
That was good.
I'm biased, of course, because
it wasn't
fantasy.
it wasn't as good as the other issues. Like
It is the
and
weaker one, but
there's
it's
always going to
necessary.
be that issue.
It's
But
necessary.
it was to fill in the blanks.
It'd be weird if we didn't have this issue. So
Yeah.
still, thumbs up for me. The other book I read was Batman. Is it okay if I talk about it, or do you?
Yeah, I
wanna...
don't give a shit.
Lex
I'm gonna
Luthor
read it. So.
Lex Luthor is another superhero.
He's a superhero.
Yeah, he has a bat suit.
He's a bat suit.
Yeah, he has his own bat suit.
Is that what was shown in the preview? Is
that
the
suit end of the book?
Is that this? Oh, it was at the end of the book.
Well, near the end. It was the last like 5 pages.
Because I saw the preview. Like I haven't gotten to it yet, but I saw the preview where he like Abyss goes into the lair or whatever, and you see like he has a suit underneath his suit or whatever, and he activates like his wrist bat signal or whatever.
Yep.
He has a bat suit now.
Yep. And it's cool looking.
All right.
So
I'll
Lex
have to look at it.
Is essentially just like, well, there's the Batman Incorporated.
Yo, do you have the issue in front of you? We know you don't care about the 9.8 because you're gonna destroy it. So
not in front of me, but I
just send a photo.
I can pull up a picture.
Send a photo
to you real quick.
Like, all right, so we can add another Lex Luthor hero.
That's why when you're talking about that, I'm like, oh my god.
You're like, another one.
Well, he's just like, there's Batman Incorporated, and Lex even talks about it early in the issue before he puts on the suit. Like, the world does need a Batman, but why does it have to be Bruce?
Yeah. That was in the preview.
So it's not like he doesn't have a cowl. But
no, because we got to see his shiny bald head.
It's interesting.
We got to know it's Lex Luthor.
The symbol on his chest is the Dark Knight bat symbol, like where it's flat wings.
Okay.
I just sent Sean a picture. So.
All right. So that's what it is.
It's like a yellow bat symbol, and it's glowing. Anyways, he fights Abyss, and Abyss does the same thing he does to Bruce with like being in the darkness. Bruce is still blind. This entire issue he's blind. He's trying to figure out why. He can still see himself though. He just can't see anything else around him. And he can see Luthor too. Luthor comes in, and he's just like, "Man, I'm gonna fight you, Luthor." And then Luthor's just like, "No, we gotta team up because I'm trying to fight Abyss too." And Batman Incorporated, which are all the Batman characters together, is actually Abyss is leading them. He's the one who formed them together. We don't know why. We don't know how, but I guess that's for next issue. That's kind of where
it's a Kung Fu Panda type of deal.
Exactly. One of the greatest animated trilogies of all time, by the way.
I still haven't seen the third.
Super good. It's really, really good.
I just remember I've just seen the scene where he's in the mystical realm. Am I the son of a panda or the son of a goose?
Bruce fights the Batman Inc. because they all team up against him, and he's getting
so Batman Inc. gets out on parole or bail.
No, Bruce helped them escape, essentially.
Oh, even better, breaking the law.
But immediately after, because like you guys are all framed, you're innocent. But immediately after, they start to beat him up, and he can't see anything, so he's just getting he's just getting the shit
kicked out of him.
Yeah, and there's a doctor talking in his ear because he got stitched up. And she's just like, punch, look out, kick, come on, you dodge. And he literally screams like, shut up. And then there's a moment of silence and he's just listening. And then a guy goes to kick him, he turns around and blocks it. Like, it's very Daredevil like.
That takes me back to Nightwing and Batgirl just beating the shit out of Tim Drake during Fear State.
Oh yeah.
Panels that give me joy just because they're funny.
Remember before City of Bane how Batman backhanded Tim because Tim was like, hey man, you okay? Why did that have to happen?
But yeah, Rob and I were talking last night. Because
Rob Liefeld?
No, Rob Liefeld. No, Rob, the continuity squirrel, if he still uses that account. He asked me, he goes, hey, Sean, are you reading Detective Comics? Because Psycho Pirate's a big thing in that. And I'm like, yes, I've unfortunately picked up the issues.
Unfortunately, is it not good?
No, it just doesn't make sense in the terms of like I haven't read this week's issue, but I saw what I needed to see. Like, so Psycho Pirate's involved with like the new Arkham Tower.
Yeah.
And like it's just so bizarre because you read Infinite Frontier, right?
The event, yes.
Yeah, the miniseries.
Yeah. I read it.
Yeah, and so it ends like Psycho Pirate's part in it ends with him like fading away, going, "I will see you in our next crisis," or whatever. Like, I'm needed in my next crisis. Like, and he goes from being this big multiversal, like that's the, and I'll point this out after I talk about it, but like the way he emerges in this issue is he's just like in a briefcase on like a plane, and he just breaks out of the briefcase and runs across the tarmac away.
This is the next crisis.
And exactly, right? So I'm just there like, so you're telling me he just got all these amped up dark side powers and I'll see you in our next crisis just to wind up in a suitcase on a plane? And I'm just there like,
that's like a huge continuity error.
I'm just like, no, because then he even says to, I think the guy's name is Tom, leading Arkham Tower, Tom. He says to Tom, he goes, "Oh, some very powerful people are after me." And it's like, so Darkseid? so did this lead right into the other? And like, that's what gets me about Psycho Pirate. Like, that's why I want to give him a book. I want to write that book because I have the story in my head. But I find that you either have him as the Crisis callback, where they just dust him off for an event because it's a callback to Crisis on Infinite Earths, or for some reason, ever since like King's Run, he's a Batman villain, which is like, it's interesting because it's like, you know, he first got introduced fighting Dr. Fate and I think Hourman, and then he also, I mean, in the New 52, like that Psycho Pirate was garbage. He fought like Superboy, but like still, it's just odd to me, just the way that flows into one another. I will see you in our next crisis.
Like, I thought that he was gonna be essentially like almost like the Watcher in Marvel, because when the Watcher appears, it's like, oh god, this getting real.
Well, yeah, because also he had the coolest story in Secret Files where he understands like nothing matters. He's like this, because you know he has the whole dialogue where he goes, you know, tell me like who you are or whatever, and the guy's like, you know, I'm just an older man, you know, I grew up, I always felt I was destined for more. And he's like, no, you don't see the world as I do, because no, you were never a kid. You're 2 months old because this multiverse is 2 months old. Like, he sees beyond whatever. And so like, that's also weird. Like, I feel like that's also a genie that was let out of the bottle. Like, you can't, like, it's weird to have him go from that to just a petty criminal again. It's weird.
It is odd.
And that's my Psycho Pirate rant. I hope everybody who just kept skipping
that's
back.
our thoughts on Batman.
That's our thoughts on Batman. All right, so Lex Luthor has a suit.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll read it.
It's pretty good. I enjoyed it. I really like Williamson Batman. Due to money, I had to drop his Robin, unfortunately.
Why? You're gonna drop it right before Shadow War starts?
I'll be picking up Shadow War, but like I basically said, like after Shadow War is over, don't.
Then you'll drop Robin.
Yeah.
But then your retailer is gonna buy the next 3 anyway and force you to buy them.
Well, the thing is, like, I'm very
Hunter. I seriously hope you never take out a loan from a mob boss. Like, seriously, never borrow money from JD, like, ever.
That was good.
Because you're gonna have like your kneecaps broken so fast because you're just gonna be a sucker.
You know the Spider-Verse when he goes to his dad and he's like, "It was good working with you." Like Miles does that.
It was
voice.
good working with you. Yeah.
I imagine that's JD's mob boss voice. Like, I appreciate the city.
You don't think it's more Into the Spider-Verse Kingpin? You're not stopping this.
That's
not
JD's
today.
Normal voice. That's the thing. So,
yeah. What else does he say? He's like, I look forward to working with you. Oh no, it's thank you for your bravery.
Yeah,
I look forward to working with you.
I love you.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's
I
what
can't wait
you-
for that. Across the Spider-Verse. We get that in April.
October. Wait,
Oh, no,
April,
October.
bro.
No, I think part 2 is going to be in April.
Part 2 is
'Cause-
October of the next year.
Are you? Oh, maybe because I
They're
know
1 year. They're 1
they
year gap.
didn't officially give part 2 release date, but Sony added like 2 release dates for 2023, and
Mhm.
so like
It's probably the later one. I could see Mitchell's
Yeah.
versus Machines getting a sequel, if anything.
fucking
Oh.
what?
Mitchell's versus Machines.
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, you should watch it. It's on Netflix. That's your plan tonight. It's the same animators as.
You think I got
Spider-Verse.
time to watch shit on Netflix?
Bro, you're gonna go. You're gonna go.
I'm
play
gonna
Guardians
watch
of the Galaxy.
Peacemaker.
Yeah. You're gonna watch Peacemaker play Guardians of the Galaxy. Like this is the same animation as Spider-Verse. It's very, very good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. There you go. And that's all the comments that we read because our lives got super busy.
Aren't lives being busy so fun?
Yeah,
Adults having jobs and having things to do.
man. Yeah. I'm a student too. I'm a full-time student.
Yep, same.
Are you a
3
full-time
hour-
student?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I work a Monday through Friday job, and then I have CBR on the weekends, and then I am a student on top of it.
Okay, you might be a little bit busier than me.
This is empty.
I work part-time on weekends, and I am a full-time student, but I also write a D&D campaign, so that counts as a job. That's a job.
No, it doesn't.
That counts as it's an unpaid job, but it's a job.
No, it's not.
It's 100% like a job.
No, it's really not.
I treat it like a job. So
Now, if you were on whatever D&D web show you watch, maybe, because you'd probably be getting paid for that. What's that thing called you like?
Critical
Role
Role.
play?
Critical
Role
Role.
players.
I've said it twice.
What is it?
I've literally said
You
it
will
twice.
listen. Hey, people, listen back to segments of me. There are times where I just blatantly don't hear things because I'm like
Mhm.
half in, half out. Because like I'll never like if you go back, like one that stands out to me. First off, the quiz where Harper clearly lists out stuff, and I'm just there like, oh, did you mean this? Like, and then also like the one where we were talking about Rogers the musical, you were like, imagine if they made like a musical about 9/11. And then 2 minutes later, I'm like, yeah, it'd be like if they made a musical about 9/11.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of there like, yeah, Sean. Yeah.
Yeah, I said that, Sean.
There are moments where I'm just here like, it's late. What's happening?
Yeah, it is pretty. It's like 11 o'clock for you right now, isn't
It's
it?
11:03.
Yeah, I'll let you sleep.
You don't
Madam-
want to talk about anything else? I thought we were going to talk about life, universe as we know it.
Sure.
What are you up to? What you reading?
I just read Batman.
No, like for fun,
Oh,
not as a chore.
No, we just
not as
talked
an
about it.
ongoing.
Batman by Grant
Oh,
Morrison.
like Morrison's. I saw you got the 3 omnibuses.
the thing
The
that
omnibuy is omnibuy or omnibuses,
I say omnibus.
but for plural,
Omnibuses.
omnibuses.
Yeah. So there's a few of us. I know JD's doing this, Tyler's doing this, I'm doing this. We're doing Bat February, where we're just gonna read Batman books for all of February, and just leading up to the Batman movie, which
Metal?
comes out first week of March. That doesn't count. Doesn't count. No, but
Metal?
I plan on reading Morrison's Batman. I'm a little
So-
busy this month.
Batman
so-
Who Laughs.
Yeah, I'm reading that series. I
Yeah.
have all 6 of those issues.
There's 7.
Well, then I have all 7 because I read the whole
There's
thing.
like a few mini series that were like only supposed to be 6, and then they always get extended for like the additional one.
Yeah, I
Like,
remember Jim Gordon's son
remember
saying
when
that.
like Future State Gotham, I think, was supposed to be a 6 issue,
Yeah,
and now it's just an ongoing.
it's at like 10 or something now. Forgot about that. But yeah, essentially, I'm reading just Batman books. I'm planning on reading just Morrison's Batman, and then after that, if I have time, because I am a little busy this month, I'll reread Scott Snyder's Batman because that's my favorite Batman run. And it's been a few years. I read Court of Owls, I read Death of the Family, like
so
in
good.
2020, just because I felt like it, because it's great.
I did the same. I read that.
It's
I
great.
read it's well, also I read all, like, that's a problem with me. Like, I have trouble if it's an event, I feel like, and I have DC Universe, I feel like I have to read everything to fully understand it. Like things like King in Black, I can let go, but I definitely think
King in Black is good.
well, yeah, no, but there's like 500 tie-ins.
Oh yeah, yeah. Don't worry about
like for King in Black, I read the main event, I read the Venom stuff, I read the Spider-Man one shot, I read Gwenom versus Carnage, and then I read Black Cat, but Black Cat was an ongoing, so it was
Daredevil too, right?
Well, yeah, Daredevil, yeah, but like there were like the limited series specifically for the event, like, and so
yeah.
but like with Death of the Family, I will say if you read the everything for that, it's very well put together, because I remember when I was anti-hero analysis, I put together a post on it where I'm saying like the only person in that event who wouldn't kill the Joker is Tim Drake, because in every single tie-in it shows each member of the Bat family being willing to snap and kill the Joker. Dick, Barbara, everyone, even Alfred, like in the aftermath, he like,
well, Alfred wouldn't hesitate.
yeah, he sleeps well, like thinking about blowing the Joker's head off.
Mm-hmm.
And like, but like Tim Drake, he breaks it down logically. He's like, I just have to beat the clown. But he admits after Jason kills Joker, he goes, I am kind of relieved to know that someone would put Joker down, but he would never do it.
Mm-hmm.
But like even Batman kind of screws with Joker, and it's like, maybe tonight's the night that I finally break.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we end this all now.
I like your Batman voice.
Right? Yeah, you know, it's that psycho, like, you know, maybe this is
yeah,
it. Maybe we're done.
Man, I miss
right?
Alfred. Just talking about, you mentioned Alfred there, and reading Morrison's Batman, I'm like, man, I miss this guy. He's so good.
Robin, like another issue that hits you really hard is the start of Williamson's run, because it's like, what would you do after a good night? It's like hang out with Superman. Oh, he's busy on War World. Alfred's dead. You know, it goes through all of them. It's like, oh yeah, he really doesn't have much to do.
Yeah, literally.
Because Damien's away. I think they show Damien.
Yep.
But yeah, it's Alfred, Robin and Batman make me miss Alfred. But I mean, of course, we got Red Hood. Why am I doing this? Alfred Pennyworth.
Yeah, exactly. So his death has had good moments, and Nightwing gave him money too. But in the end, it's just, man, I miss this guy. Like the very first issue of Morrison's Batman has he's in the cave with Dick and Bruce is working on a suit, and Dick says, oh no, Tim says, hey Alfred, don't forget to feed the bats. And Bruce is like, wait, you feed the bats? And Alfred's like, yeah, well, you expect them to starve? And he starts explaining like his whole recipe and everything, and Batman's like, why'd you tell me this? Like, how have I not known this? So it's funny. So I miss that guy a lot.
Alfred's always like the best part. Like whenever, like even in like like the one that always comes to mind for me is Mask of the Phantasm. Yeah, that's ridiculous. You're the absolute epitome of sanity. Oh, and by the way, I've polished your exploding gas balls, and you know, whatever.
You see, Robert Pattinson said that's his favorite Batman movie.
Mask of the fuck, I can't
Mask
say
of the
it now.
Phantasm. Yeah.
Mask of the Phantasm, yeah. And Batman Catwoman.
What?
That series brought Phantasm into the comics.
Yeah, I dropped it after
Can't forget that.
After 2 issues, it was announced that it was going to be bi-monthly, and I'm like, no thanks. I will wait till
that one. See, that's the thing. I think that's part of the reason why Wonder Girl got canned, because Wonder Girl, Teen Titans Academy, and Batman Catwoman, I think, have faced the most delays for DC. Because when I look at like Wonder Girl got delayed, like some issues got delayed for like 2 months.
No, I know, but it's like it's one writer, one artist.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's 2 artists, but it originally was just
Joel Jones. Yeah,
and that was.
But that's the thing. Like those books have had serious delays, and like that Batman Catwoman special that like finally came out. Excuse me. That Batman Catwoman special that finally came out. Like that was announced that was like 2 years ago. I think that got announced.
Yeah, and it's Christmas themed.
Like right around the time that Strange Adventures was going on.
And Strange Adventures became bi-monthly after 9 issues.
Yeah, I was gonna say
The
like
last
Strange Adventures
3
also took forever.
Yeah.
Oh, and you want to hear another thing that's funny with delayed release dates? Suicide Squad Get Joker. We got issue 1 in August, issue 2 in September. We're not getting issue 3 until April.
The Last Ronin, the TMNT Elseworld story. We got issue 1, then issue 2, and then issue 3 was about a 5-month delay. And then issue 4 was I think 7-month delay. And the final issue 5, I don't think has a release date.
Maybe my title shell will help me. Only thing I can think of now whenever that book is brought up.
It's just because of that's just a reference to a hero story, essentially.
Yeah. Oh my god. I was thinking of something Tyler said the other day. But actually I think it pertains to Star Wars, so I won't talk about it. But
Save it.
Yeah.
Maybe my title shell will help.
Maybe my title shell will help me.
Blows up. Good series. It's a great series. It's really well done.
Pineapple, whatever. Pineapple, pepperoni, and whatever he says.
And
doesn't he say anchovies?
jalapenos?
Jalapeno.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was the Leonardo's last words.
Oh my god.
Because Casey Jones is just like, hey Leo, when we get out of here, how about we grab a slice? And Leo's just like, yeah, man, let's do it. Can't wait to get that ham, pineapple, and jalapeno. And then he blows up.
Eyes, lungs, pancreas.
So it's a little
so many
snacks,
so little time.
It's a little odd last lines. Raphael, he goes out like getting stabbed to death and drowning. So it's like, oh my god. But then Leonardo died by naming off a very odd pizza choice. Instantly dies.
Eddie.
Even then, Casey like looks at him like, what the hell? And then it's not like a look of, oh god, we're gonna die.
That's the final panel.
It's just an odd choice, but I'll take it.
Oh
and what are you reading? For fun.
Reading. The last thing I was reading for fun, I can't remember. I've been keeping up with so many ongoings that I can't remember. I did skim some Ultimate Spider-Man. I was looking at that the other day.
Don't skim it, read it.
I know. I was like,
it's really good.
Let's see, what do I got in the DC universe? Like the last thing I was reading for fun, like I was reading Wade's Daredevil. I was reading some Star Wars. I was reading like the days have blurred so much. Like I only remember ongoings.
That's fair. I mean, you read a lot. In 2016, I was reading every single DC comic coming out. And
I want to get back into Invincible. God damn it.
Yeah, you never finished it.
Here's how bad time has blurred for me. I realized that I binged like the first 24 issues of Invincible at my when I did the podcast from the clown room in the Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah, the clown room. I know where you're
and and I literally realized that was in July.
Oh yeah,
and like
2022.
Like even when you said like even when you're like, yo, what did you read for January? I'm like, January's over.
Yeah.
I was like, literally feels like I read Mother Panic, which is what I read literally like early January, late December. Like that feels like yesterday to me.
Yeah, Sean.
Actually, that was the last thing I read for. Yeah, I stopped counting comics because I was just like, I can't keep track.
Bro,
I'll try again.
Just finish an issue, then write it down.
I'll try again. Dude, I've been busy. I bought that Spider-Man to keep me company.
Oh no.
Because I'm just in my room reading comics. Like that's my Wilson. It's literally like when I watch Peacemaker, I'm just there like, so what do you think? Is it good?
I guess for audio listeners, real quick, Sean just has an oddly sized stuffed Spider-Man in the background.
When I was driving that home from like Target, and it was I literally strapped it into the front seat. It looked like I like kidnapped a kid.
Oh, no,
because it's literally like the size of a toddler.
It It is, yeah. That's why I said oddly sized. It's essentially like a 4-year-old.
Yeah, and so I'll just like literally that was an impulse purchase. I just saw it in the store and was like, yeah.
I get that a lot when I go to stores.
I literally put him like in the corner because he's been on the store shelf, like on a low shelf. So I didn't know what kids were touching it. So I'm like, all right, there's your COVID quarantine. And then when you're done with your 14 days, you can go on the bed like a throw pillow as you were intended.
Yeah, I mean, I bought in things like I wonder if there's anything around my room where I just like bought like yeah.
But yeah, was it cool working with Tobey Maguire? Was it cool? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sean, you're going insane.
Like it's one of those things where you have to be like, okay, we're good.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Well, that's the other thing. When I was away for 2 weeks, like I was like, I've been honest about my mental health on this podcast. Like, I'm like not crazy, but just like things get me down. And so like this apartment had been in shambles for a bit. Like my room is literally a reflection of my mental state. And so like those 2 weeks that I was gone was just me cleaning. And like I used to do things the hard way. Like I would be cleaning the floor with like a singular sponge. Like it looked like I'd be a prisoner, like scrub.
I was gonna say like a prisoner.
Just be there, like, and then finally I bought a Swiffer. Why the fuck didn't I buy a Swiffer months ago? It's the easiest goddamn thing to use.
Yeah.
And like because I would be there, like I have to clean the floors, use the soap and like literally like going out of my mind here. And then all you gotta do is just buy one of those wet pack things, put it on the Swiffer, it mops the whole floor.
Yeah,
and I'm just there like, why am I so dumb?
I like to imagine those 2 weeks where you're gone. You started by putting up a Joker movie like poster, and then you by the end of those weeks you took it off. Like, you know what? No.
There is in the other room. There is the cover to, because it was like my comic shop. Somebody just like gave it to my comic shop, and so they were selling it for $5. So there's a framed poster of Harley Quinn number 25, which is the Amanda Connor cover of Harley, Joker, and Batman.
Oh, geez.
It's like here I kind of have like a wall of history because we have, first Superman, like ongoing, like the Superman number 1, Spider-Man 300, Flash 123. Everything's like significant for comics. And then I just have Harley Quinn in the other room.
Hey, look, I have a hero story. I have some Batman art. I got some CGC for Spirits of Gore for Spider-Man.
Oh, we can talk about that. CGC just fucked me over so hard.
Real quick, for
continue.
For She-Hulk as well. And behind the mic, we have the first Black Manta first. And then also, I have a little Sean poster that comes down often, but here, let me fix that for you, Sean.
Oh, it's Red Hood. Oh.
I have a Joker poster.
See, these two guys were in a lunatic asylum.
Okay, sorry. CGC assaulted you, is it?
No. Like, so I just submitted, so like JD, I submitted to the George Perez thing. I sent in all my Crisis on Infinite Earths. It's going to a good cause. The proceeds are going to his family. How could I not? So I sent that stuff in. That's not where it happened, but I just got the last wave of my books back. Like when JD was doing his unboxing recently.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I got my stuff back. So the things I was waiting on, Naomi number 1, thank God it came out good, 9.6.
Okay.
Convention edition too. So that's like the one saving grace of this batch.
Do you know the worth? What the price worth is?
About 500 is what I was seeing on eBay.
Whoa, nice.
500. And I literally got handed that for free at Comic-Con.
Bro, are you gonna sell it?
I don't know. That's the thing. I have a tough time parting with things, but it's Naomi and I don't watch the show. I probably should.
Bro, straight up, I don't think it's gonna go higher. Sell it while you can, because it's gonna drop.
See, that's what I'm wondering. Because she is on the Justice League. I don't know. I doubt she's gonna be one of the characters killed off since we're getting Naomi season 2. But
yes. She's not gonna be. No, she's not a part of the killing off thing.
That's just, yeah. So you think it's not gonna? All right, maybe
They
I
said
will.
it's the current Justice League except for Naomi and Black Adam. They're not involved.
Okay, so maybe I will. But no. So I got that back, but then like JD, I got the first appearance of Tim Drake graded. I can't even tell you the grade because my comic shop, like I was doing it through my comic shop guy. This book is actually the reason why my comic shop guy isn't sending to CGC anymore, because they literally like must have just dropped the thing, and the
Oh, no.
entire surrounding of it is like cracked, like lightning, just arcs throughout the entire edge, and it like clearly you dropped it. Like that wasn't a packaging thing. That wasn't something that happened in transit. Like clearly it was dropped and it just wasn't replaced. Like they were just like, all right. Then my Venom 200, they send back without any grader notes. I know it was in pristine condition, 9.4, but no notes. Like, what other way is there to just say fuck you and just giving you something lower than a 9.8 without any feedback?
Yeah, I understand that. I feel like I want to know what happens because I didn't get notes on my my I have all my CGCs around here. One of them, it's a cat book. I thought I said cat book. Hold on, my CGCs are in a box right here.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't get notes on one of them. Oh yeah, so what if number 10? I was predicting 8 because I thought it was in good condition. 5.0.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because there's some spine ticks on the side, which yeah, I see. But there's no stains or anything.
Yeah.
So like
I genuinely think sometimes it's just like a fuck you.
Yeah, like what else is wrong?
You know, that grader, he was at the bar the night before. The pretty blonde in the corner rejected him. He was having a bad night. He hammered a few back and he just said, fuck this guy's book.
All right.
You know, or vice versa. But yeah, and then I had King in Black number 5 because I love the cover. And technically it's the first appearance of Cosmic Venom.
Oh, okay.
And
is that the official name?
That's what Stegman called it.
Okay.
So, but it's not, it doesn't say it on the book. But it came back as a 9.8, but I just realized that there are cracks on the edges as well. So that's got to go back. And that one I'm also like, great, I'm going to send this thing back, but are they going to crack it open and then the grade's going to go lower?
They might.
Like, it's just like, it's, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, you have CBCS, but they're not as recognized and they also have their own problems. Like CGC is literally like a monopoly and they can do whatever they want.
Essentially. Yeah.
I think after the George Perez thing and like after I get these things back because they got to go back because I'm not having cracks on them. Mm-hmm. And I even asked my comic shop guy about the King of Black. I'm like, is this worth it? Like it's a 9.8. He goes, nah, send it back. I'm like, all right. But after the George Perez thing, I think I'm done, at least for a while.
Yeah, I'm done for a while just because like it
money.
costs a lot.
Money.
It's $90 to ship it in from Canada to there.
Oh my god! I think I spent more on the shipping and the packaging to make sure it's all secure.
And I had to pay an extra $70 for it to come back. So yeah, that's my reason. Like I have Alpha Flight 1, and I have the first appearance of Alpha Flight, and I have the first appearance of Guardian.
God, you're such a Canadian.
I know, and I found those in Canada.
There's Alpha Flight Club seals in that book too.
I went to like a coin and stamp collection place, like with a bunch of vintage stuff, and it was just sitting in a drawer. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, how the okay. So before we were recording, we already talked about Hunter having to prepare his dinner and the arduous process. And he mentioned, how did you burn down your house almost again? Let's not forget this.
That's where we end the show.
No.
I've talked on Timmy's talk before how I burned my kitchen like 2 years ago.
You know what makes this story funnier is that we now know your dad's a firefighter.
Yeah, but I don't live. I moved out. I don't live with my parents no more.
I know, but it's like that iCarly episode where it's like you started a fire at the fire department.
So it was about 10 o'clock. I'm a full-time student, but it's online school due to COVID right now. So 10 o'clock is just like we do our lesson from like 9 to 10, and then afterwards she's like, "Hey, here's a project. Come back at 1." So just work on the project.
Daytime,
yeah, day,
night.
day, yeah. I'm like, man, I am hungry. I need my food. So I go and I decide I'm gonna make bacon, and that's it because I'll keep me going
Seal
until
bacon?
of course. No.
Yeah.
So I start
With
cooking
your bagged milk.
for a bit of context. Uh I moved out in a way where I lived with my dad previously, but my
You didn't
dad
move out,
moved
you
out.
seized the home.
Yeah, I took his home because my dad's like,
The
I'm
Green
moving.
Man took out Hunter's dad, and then he
Yeah,
assumed
he's
the
like,
rule of the
I'm out of
kingdom.
here. I gotta go get some milk, and I'm like, oh, okay. Guess I'll stay here and pay the rent.
He went and
So
got some bagged milk and never
got
returned.
me some roommates, and now I'm here. So which is why this used to be a bed here, but now it's just, oh, there it is. This, I guess, is up there.
What the?
Anywho.
Whoa! What?
Canadians sleep on the wall.
I was.
What?
Yo, Spidey, do you sleep with that?
Yeah, it's from New York. Anyways,
He's
I'm
from
making my
New York.
bacon, and then smoke comes up. So then fire alarm goes off. So I'm like, oh no. Uh-oh. So I start opening windows and it's freezing out. So I
Don't
get like
tell
a
me
towel.
you did it. I'm waiting.
No, I didn't do it. I like what
Just keep telling. Just keep going.
I didn't do what you're thinking because this is a unique situation.
I'm waiting to hear it.
So the alarm's not going off. I'm like, what the heck do I do? And then I look and the bacon's like really smoking. I'm like, I should take that off the stove. So all good. I got there's a bit of smoke stain on the counters around it, but that's it. I no fire, but the alarm's still going off. I get all the smoke out and the alarm's still going off. I'm like, oh my God, thank God my roommates are at work. And so I have a security panel and it's just like, please enter your 4-digit code. I'm like, what? What 4-digit code?
Riddler.
Yeah. I'm just like,
who's the one that got away?
So I'm like, so I guess I'm like, that's not it. So I'm like, my dad previously owned the place. So I call him and he doesn't answer. So I call him again, he's not answering. So I'm like, okay. So I start just pressing things and I hit a panic button by mistake.
Oh,
and I'm like, oh no. And the alarm's still going off and my 2 dogs are freaking out. I'm like, oh no.
And the one who's blind is just there like,
yeah, freaking out. And then the fire department come and the police come because I hit the panic button. Three police cars pull up and they all run out and they're just like, is everything okay?
They're just like, okay, all righty then. What's going on here?
And they're just like, I was making bacon and the alarm went off and it's just like, did you turn it off? I'm like, I don't know the code. Like, are you the person who owns this house? I'm like, well, I'm renting. So yeah, they eventually, the police helped me get the alarm off. I was like opening up the fire alarm and they helped me out there, but it's just like, you need the code. And then you got connected again.
You don't need this anymore.
Yeah.
Safe enough.
And even when the firefighters were just like, you making bacon? I'm like, yeah.
Making pancakes, bacon pancakes.
Literally was making bacon.
But literally, like, I was afraid you were gonna say like you threw water on a grease fire, and I was gonna be like, Hunter, please no.
No, I didn't do that.
Please no, because part of my job is safety, making sure shit that, like, whenever anybody asks me what I do Monday through Friday, I always say making sure shit doesn't burn down.
I need you.
Yeah, literally. And so I have a fire story that I will never forget to this day. It's like, campfires and scouts and everything, but I will never forget the time I actually had to put out a fire. And it was a calm Friday morning at the office.
Oh, was it?
8 a.m. I'm doing my usual routine, just logging into the computer, checking emails, and I start smelling toast, like burnt toast. And I, like somehow a rational human being, go, am I having a stroke? Because, burnt toast. Yeah. I'm like, anybody else smelling this? Because nope, barely anybody's in the office. But then one of the people who works in the office goes up to someone else and goes, do you smell something burning? And then that person goes, oh, I put some toast in the toaster. And so they go into the kitchen and they just kind of go in there. But I'm like relieved. I go, all right, not a stroke. We're good. And so then one of the people comes out and she's super polite. And she turns to me and she goes, Sean, do you possibly know where the fire extinguisher is? Like, that was the tone. It was like, I don't want to bother you. I don't know if you're busy, but where's the fire extinguisher? And I'm just here like, It's on the wall in the kit. How bad is this toast? Like, I'm just thinking it's blackened, kind of like how you were saying, like burning the bacon. And I go in there and there is a literal campfire coming out of the toaster. It's one of those insert ones, the cartoony ones. I'm just there like, oh shit. And then the millennial in me, or I guess I'm Gen Z, but for a second I just go, I should take a photo of this to show others. And then I was like, you idiot, put the goddamn thing out. And so I pulled a pin, took one sweep, and puts it out. But like, I didn't realize, like, they tell you about fires and the damage, but like just that little like toaster fire, like it didn't catch anything, but it was putting like soot in the air. Like I went into the bathroom and like literally like there's like just ash in my hair. And then the Fire Nation attacked.
The end.
The end.
Here.
But, I really don't have anything else to say.
We're gonna end it with categories.
Categories.
So I'm gonna say a category, and the category will be super characters in comics with fire powers, or
Yo,
they
Caleb,
use fire.
this one's for you.
They use they use fire, and I have to name a character. Then you name a character. You only have 3 seconds to name the character.
Wait, superheroes or anyone?
Comic book characters.
Oh, it has to be comic book.
Yeah. So you ready?
No.
Heatwave.
Starfire.
Human Torch. And that's a hero story. Thanks.
God, what other fire? There's the person who is in Crisis on Infinite Earths.
The person in Crisis on Infinite Earths. Surtur. I mean, does Beta Ray Bill's like new sword from Surtur count? It doesn't count. No. Phoenix. If you Phoenix, just any of the Phoenixes.
Kinda, yeah. God, fire.
Wow, that's it. Hey.
Oh, Firefly.
Oh, duh, Firefly 2.
About to be in Batgirl. Firefly.
The other Firefly.
What's his face from Suicide Squad? Diablo.
Yeah, that counts.
Pyro from X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
Although he counts, even though he like emits gas.
Yeah, well, I said Heatwave, and he uses guns.
Yeah. Condiment King. No, I'm just kidding.
Was there no fire Spider-Man character?
I mean, Spirit of Vengeance Spider-Man. His head's on fire.
Mephisto, maybe.
Oh, just Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
Ghost
Rider
counts.
Yeah, I'd say Ghost Rider counts.
Mephisto, I guess he's the
devil.
Yeah.
Fire's kind of his background.
Like I know we were about to end, but now I'm like thinking, who else like fire
like
powers? I feel like this is a lot
thing,
more power. I feel like this is a lot more common.
Yeah.
Isn't there someone who uses like green fire?
I could picture like flames on people, but
yeah.
Here, let me see if we missed any. I'm gonna Google characters with fire.
Comic
characters with fire powers.
I'm gonna say comic book characters with fire powers. See if we got anything different.
There's a character called Fire. There's Firestar Phoenix. They always said that. Sunfire, Firestorm. Duh, Firestorm. That's a big one. That's an obvious one.
Yeah, that's a hard one to forget. Sunspot from X-Men, right?
I guess, yeah.
You guess?
Yeah, I suppose he counts. Dormammu.
Ghost Rider's on this list. You said Firestar. Fire Lord? The Fire Lord?
Fire.
There's apparently a Fire Lord for the Nova Corps.
Sunfire, Fire Lord. Yeah, I just saw that.
Oh, the original Human Torch, Jim Hammond.
Oh yeah, duh. Yeah.
God.
And tune in next week as we talk about characters with ice powers.
Yeah, we were gonna I remember one idea I kicked her. I like threw out there. I'm like, why don't we do like versus? Who would win in a fight? But then like we might go down that route of like Hyperion's the most powerful. He can take anyone.
Yeah, we'll just be arguing. Flash can just travel back in time.
Well, you see, technically in issue number 632, so and so actually did this, and if we're going by the time that they beat so and so,
Reverse Flash could just go back in time before Dr. Manhattan could even think and just kill him as a child or before.
Well, technically, in the button, Dr. Manhattan killed Reverse Flash.
Yeah, so. But that was unexpected. That's a hero story.